back, guys.
We're back.
Another episode of the Brothers of the World podcast.
Been a long time.
And this is a recap of UFC 259. Jan
Blachowicz?
Yes, I was way off. But I've been hearing that a lot. Mispronounced. I mean, obviously, his name is fucking hard. He's
hard,
Polish.
Yeah.
Anyway, Polish power against the last style bender. Dominant performance, and we're starting right there at the end of the card, the main event. John, let's break this fucking whole card down, starting with these guys.
Okay, so my biggest thing for Izzy going into this fight was the best part of his defense at middleweight. He's able to stay on his feet and use that big trunk movement to dodge a bunch of punches, you know what I mean? And I thought in heavyweight, Jan looked extra long fucking fighting out there. So I also thought he was going to be able to tag him when he was doing that, and he was going to be able to hit the body. But I think the biggest thing that probably went unnoticed for Jan was the big jab to the body or straight to the body. And I think those were just getting those strikes higher and higher. And it was a great fight. It was close, but I had Jan winning 2, 4, and 5. 4 and 5,
Same
no
here.
debate.
No, I agree too. And then 1 was obviously could have gone either way. 3, I definitely give that to Adesanya. So I can see how he did win at the end of the night, 4-1 on all 3 cards. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, he 10-8'd him. 2 judges thought it was 10-8 on the last round, and then 1 judge picked 10-8.
I was about to say there was nothing egregious about that judging, but
the right man won.
10-8s. He didn't deserve the 10-8. You know what I mean?
No,
I used to think a 10-8 was an ass whooping. You know what I mean?
Okay, because Jan implemented his wrestling in 4 and 5, mm-hmm. right? But to get that 10-8, it's usually like he implements it and controls him for all to 4 to 5 minutes, like the whole round. But this one,
it was like a 2-minute mark.
Yeah, at the 2-minute mark, that was in round 5, and in round 4, he kind of implemented it round 3 or minute 3 or a little bit under. Mm-hmm. So I don't. But then again, it's not like Izzy did anything, and to warrant his 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did Izzy really do?
I get you. And there was really nothing he could do. Jan was so heavy on him, and you saw just top pressure. You know what I mean? He was not allowing any space.
And he was able to control that half guard so well. And then when we were watching the fight here, I remember telling Mike and Daniel, I was like, stay in half guard, because sometimes Jan would transition to side control. And I'd be like, no, dude, like you're giving him an easier chance to escape. Like, remember how they used to think side control was the more dominant position than half guard? Half guard is the more well, now, because there's more ways to escape.
Yeah, these grapplers are so much more stronger now.
Exactly. And what was I trying to say? Oh, earlier, bro, when you mentioned like trunk movement, yeah, that's Izzy's go-to.
Yeah.
But he lures you in with feints, trunk moves, and probably like dodges the first strikes, and then he'll counter. But you're right, Jan. Okay, so. Dude, and this is why I was so annoyed by Joe. He's like, man, Jan is biting all these feints. But I think it was kind of in Jan's game plan to bite on a feint, and then once Izzy comes in, hit him with the jab.
Well, bro,
him biting on the feints was part of the game plan, in my opinion.
Well, let's flash back to Israel versus Romero. I said that fucking the way that you're gonna have to beat Israel Adesanya's thing is out feint him, and you're not gonna out feint him. Or just stand there like Romero and don't react on anything. You know what I mean? Just let all the feints happen. Let him tire himself out. But what Jan did, he was biting on every single feint. But I was seeing pictures, like just screenshots of when he was biting. And he was doing like not even a Muay Thai kickboxing class basic. He was doing like self-defense basic. He's picking his hands up real high.
That's all it was,
his leg up and shelling that kick just in case it was a kick. Like, it was such a great, yes, he was biting on it, but he was biting on it in a defensive way. And then, like you said, when he came in, he would land a shot of his own.
Yeah, because let's compare Jan biting feints to Robert Whittaker or Paulo Costa when they fought Izzy. They full-on bought it. Like, okay, fuck it, I'm going in. Jan was like he wouldn't go in all card, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't go full house in. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't bet the house there. He would just throw a punch or two, a jab.
He was taking his time. That's why you can understand how close the fight was because of how technical it was between them.
And I was a little worried, bro, about this fight the whole night turning into like a Yoel Izzy fight. But Jan, because dude, what is it with people always expecting Izzy's opponent to do all the work? You know what I'm saying? Everybody expect. Okay, if you're fighting Izzy, it's like, why is he not doing anything? Dude, shut the fuck up. Why isn't Izzy? Like, nobody wants to point that out.
My biggest problem with Izzy watching this fight, I was like, in those 4th and 5th rounds, I don't remember what he was saying in between the 4th and 5th round going into Kelvin fight, but I know it was translated to "Heart of a Lion." I'm willing to die out here.
Yeah, no,
and
he's cringy.
He's just chanting that out. Yeah, you know, it is cringy, but I want to see that anime shit. I want to see you go out there and say, "Fuck it, I need to go out there and put it on the line because you're losing a decision." He didn't do that in this Yan fight. He didn't up the volume. He didn't go out there and say, "You know what? This is close." Just like how the Kelvin fight was close, this is close, and I need to go out there and put my balls on the line.
He had some wine before.
Oh, he was drunk. He looked drunk.
He had some wine before the fight. But yeah, so Yan was able to do what Yan does and just, well, dude, at the end of the day, the 20-pound difference is really, it's a factor.
And you saw it when Yan looked so great. Those takedowns were not just, they were easy takedowns. They were easy takedowns because he timed them so fucking perfectly. Mm-hmm. And you saw all that extra weight come and drive Izzy down. Like, it wasn't just, let me fight for it. No, those takedowns were, and he went right through them.
Another thing, bro, is he was able to create space in these takedowns. You know, what I'm saying is he didn't try to take Izzy down when Izzy was back against the cage. Because early in the fight...
Open cage.
Open mat. Because that was Izzy's best plan to escape. Wall walk, put his back against the fence and wall walk. And if you can... In round 4, when he took him down for the first, like a legit takedown, because he took him down earlier, but Izzy was able...
I think he took him down in the 2nd round.
Yeah, Izzy was able to get up quick. But in that 4th round, you could see how Izzy was trying to back shuffle over the fence, and then Yan was able to kind of just cut him off.
Literally just turn him away from the fence. It's like he made it all that way past the black lines, and then Yan just said, "Okay, we're gonna turn."
And I was kind of telling Mike and Daniel too. I'm like, "Hey guys, you see here, Izzy's he's a foot away from the fence." And it's kind of like a WWE, like a wrestler, you know how they reach for the rope?
Yeah.
And it's kind of no! Because once he's not able to get the fence, it's like you can control him there the whole round, and Izzy, thank God the ref, who was reffing, Herb Dean, wasn't stand him up. Because I would have been pissed, because it's a lot of work to get Izzy down. And Izzy's a great fighter, I'm not trying to shit on him, but the better fighter won that night. And
I mean, just look at the volume. Yan landed 184 out of 276.
He outstruck him every round.
Yeah,
every round.
And Izzy landed 99.
And that's what I don't understand about the commentary. Joe Rogan and DC saying, "Man, Yan's biting on all these feints. Izzy's outstriking Yan right now." It's like, dude. At one point, I was just like, I just wanted to turn it off and be like, "Shut the fuck." And it seemed that John Anik was very quiet.
Shout out to Anik, bro.
Yeah,
Keep
no.
it to himself.
Yeah, he even laughed at the. I guess. I'll say it right now. He laughed at the Drew Dober. Drew Dober is the most underrated fighter in all of the UFC. John Anik in the background with the ha ha. Yeah, we all love Rogan, but I mean, it was a little.
There's a lot of bias there. But
and it's cool. The fight was close. You could think that, but you.
Wait, you're talking about the Dober fight?
No, no.
This fight was close.
No, we're not talking about that fight.
This fight. I mean,
it just didn't look like an ass whooping.
Okay, this fight on the scorecards doesn't look close, but you're right. As a test of, because all the if you count out 4 and 5, 1 through 3 were very, they could have gone either way. That's why technical. Very technical, very patient fighting. It wasn't a snooze fest. I know some newer casual fans might think that, man, boring, especially when the wrestling got involved. They're probably like, what is this? Because, they're shocked. They're used to seeing Izzy kickbox. They're like, man, if Izzy would have stayed on his feet, would have knocked him out.
Izzy's power didn't translate to the weight.
How many question mark kicks did this fucking guy? He was banking on landing one of them. None of them landed. He was Yan was able to get the phone up.
Yeah, dude, it was perfect.
He's like,
perfect.
Question mark kick coming? Boom. Another one? Question mark. Because Izzy throws the question mark though, right? He's in his orthodox stance, and he'll quickly switch to southpaw, and he'll throw it with that left leg. Okay. That's why I got kind of used to seeing and that's why I was
switching up the lead.
I swear I counted at least 5 of them. And he would always, it was always a switch stance, throw the left over, couldn't catch Yan, but yeah.
Well, I tried to. I was at work when the last 3 title fights were going on, and I tried to pay my hardest of attention to this main event. The co-main I got to see the humongous overhand right that scared Megan Anderson into oblivion.
God.
I looked down because I was dropping items from the pallet.
Yeah,
and when I looked back up, the triangle choke was already in. The triangle armbar was already done. And I said, oh, this fight is over.
Well, bro, when that first hand landed, she wasn't like stumbling on Dream Street, but you could tell her lead leg.
It went
like
stiff.
It did like a slipping motion, like forward, and I'm like, oh, like once you see somebody's like leg start to, you know, her poker face is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that punch hurt her, and she's at first, you know, she's showing it, but her stance, and then once Amanda saw that, it's like, oh, I got you.
Amanda legit is a lion out there. She's smelling that blood, and she is going to kill you.
So she didn't have to tap her out. She could have beat her to a fucking pulp. So do you think the submission was kind of like in mercy?
A lot of people were saying that. I don't believe that fighters do things in mercy in the heat of a fight. If y'all want to look at something in mercy, let's look at Amanda's last fight against Felicia Spencer, where she beat her up and just said, dude, I'm just going to take you down and hold you down and jab you up for 5 rounds. I'm not going to hurt you.
Bro,
this was just like...
This wasn't mercy either?
She landed a humongous
then why
shot
did she take,
and just said, I'm just going to... Megan initiated the takedown, remember?
Well, it was a desperation takedown.
I know, that's easy.
But that takedown's not like a takedown for stress. That's just like to stay alive.
Yeah.
But Amanda, once she got top position, she could have immediately been like separated, got up and been like, okay, let's... It was Amanda's best interest to finish this on the feet, and she didn't want to because I think she just didn't want to beat the fuck out of Megan. No offense to Megan.
I think Amanda can finish it anywhere, so she was just like, I'm the easiest easiest
black
path
belt
of
BJJ,
resistance.
so.
Just like with Khabib and Justin Gaethje, he came out and said like, oh, I don't want to go for the armbar again because I don't want to break his arm in front of his mom and dad. It was but no, bro, you set that up in less than 20 seconds. Your leg was already there.
But you're comparing a submission to a submission. I'm comparing a knockout to a submission.
I'm just saying that fighters aren't doing things to be merciful. They're doing things to get it done as fast as possible. And like with that one, Khabib's leg was basically already around his back. I think there's some more.
Okay, this might sound sexist. It's not, but I think women can show more mercy than some dudes, because I feel like some dudes, it's like the resiliency of their opponent. Even if they're hurt, they can still finish you. I feel like she wounded Megan so bad, like Amanda like knew like, oh, she's done. I'm gonna be, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking to my ass, but I just feel like men to women, like the men are like, this guy's still a threat, even though he's fucking destroyed. But
no,
like,
I mean,
women, it's like,
think about a couple weeks ago, Amanda Ribas versus she lost to somebody. I can't remember who beat her, but the girl basically knocked her out. Herb Dean was like, "Oh shit!" And she thought it was out, and then she said,
then she still
"Oh, it's not out. Let me go back and beat the shit out of you." I don't think mercy is a thing in fighting. But
agree to disagree?
Agree to disagree. Amanda Nunes. The one thing we can agree on.
Amanda's a fucking go.
Dude.
Hey, but Kat Zingano though. Rematch that one, right?
I'm getting out of here.
Getting out of here. All right. Well, you're gonna miss our favorite fight.
Oh, the one with the most discussion, baby.
God. Petr Yan, Aljamain Sterling, and this made UFC history, baby.
I called that right, baby.
Or did this make MMA history?
I don't know if it made MMA history.
Okay, let's just go back on something we're for sure on, UFC history. The first time somebody wins a title on a disqualification.
Oh, yeah.
And, dude, let's just give it up for Aljamain, dude. That, acting or not, or no. Okay, let me say this, preface it with this. That fucking knee landed, and it looked like it fucking, like that would have rocked anybody. Now, did he sell it afterwards? Like, yeah, it hurt. Yeah, I'm sure you're concussed, but
look,
you look like a WWE referee out there.
At least the slipping and the balance issues. I mean, hey, that maybe could have been real.
Yeah.
But Aljo with the eye rolling is what got me. Oh shit! Oh, it's like, hey, daddy, you've been knocked out before, bro. Like,
yeah.
To be honest, man, I don't even know what to say about this, man.
Don't you think the ref should have called it?
Look, thank you for putting me right back on track, because the
So wait. When Mike's saying the ref should have called it, you're saying
as soon as he need him from a downed opponent, the ref should have disqualified Petr Yan.
Let me get into it.
The fighter shouldn't have the chance to say
no, they shouldn't, because check it out. Let me get into it. The MMA community becomes an echo chamber and like, oh man, like Aljo shouldn't have been fucking acting on all this. You know what? It should never be anybody's decision other than the ref, because what do we know about the ref when it comes to deducting a point or making a DQ? It has nothing to do with actually how bad it looked. What you're supposed to look at is, can this change the motion of the fight in a humongous way? If it does,
can I interrupt?
Not yet. If it does, then you go ahead and cause a disqualification. Aljo was already losing that fight. He was already looking really bad in the 4th round, and then he takes a humongous knee. Whether he was winning the fight or not, there's no way he was going to take that knee and fucking continue in the exact same shape. The fight had to be called right there. Mark Smith, a great referee, but he came out and he was whispering in the doctor's ear. I told him it was legal, so I think that's gonna have to be a DQ. You don't gotta tell anybody anything. You don't have to tell anybody anything. He literally should have just been like, "Fuck, bad knee. Let me see, Aljo, you all right? You don't look all right. Hey, doctor, come check him in." At this point, I'm gonna call this a DQ. We can figure out whether it's gonna be a DQ or no contest. But because it was so illegal, blatant, it had to be a DQ. Go ahead and interrupt me now.
So you said if somebody lands an illegal shot, it's the referee's job to determine if it's going to alter the fight in any way. Mm-hmm. What about nut shots, bro? Sometimes we see some nut shots. If you get hit square in the fucking nuts, that's going to alter your whole fight. Like you're
100% right.
You know,
but this is the difference in this situation is intent. An eye gouge. I mean, if I accidentally poke your eye, it's like, fuck, I can't really automatically take a point, but it was an accident. You know what I mean?
And you don't really see
I'm digging in your eye.
You don't really, intentional. Yeah, eye pokes. It's hard, like, to really determine is he doing that accidentally. The only time I think if there's an intentional eye poke, if you're getting ground and pounded the fuck out of you, and you kind of just like.
Yeah,
that's like maybe intentional, but it's hard to determine intentional eye pokes from like standing or nut shots.
Especially in guard, you're seeing a lot of mouth covering and this. So we could see this, and then imagine if somebody just went, "Okay, now I'm digging in your eyes."
Wait, you're talking about from the dominant position? I'm talking about
from like when you're on top of guard, you see a lot of people pushing on the mouth.
I'm talking about the only way I can see an intentional eye poke is from a person, in the from bottom, like somebody's on top of them. That's
using it as a way to get out.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't see it. If you're in dominant, why would the fuck? Unless it's accidental. And then another one is like, nut shots are hard. Oh, dude, we see this one a lot. Clash of heads, bro. How are we supposed to know if those are? Because some people will just be like
Joey Benavidez clashes heads almost every single fight because he ducks his head in.
I fucking hate clash of heads, dude.
How is that not intent? But look, I'm gonna go on another little rant right here because it's super annoying. Jan, what are you doing, bro? Like, as somebody it's stupid for me to go ahead and critique because I'm not a fighter.
Show that meme.
But Jan, what are you doing? Fight. You're a fighter. Fight. Why are you grabbing the head? I understand the rules might be confusing or something. You're not kicking to a downed opponent. You know what I mean? If a fighter's down there, just don't do anything like that. But what are you doing holding and looking around? And I thought that Conor McGregor was going to wipe the floor with Dustin Poirier in the rematch based on how Dustin Poirier looked in the pressure of the Khabib fight. The second Khabib took him down, he didn't even start reacting and fighting. He started looking at his corner and was like, "What do I do? What do I do?" You fucking fight, bro. You got to figure something out. Like, I understand your corner's there to help you out, but I hate to see fighters leaning on the corner like, hey, I'm in this position. It's like, yo, dog, fucking hit him. Aljo was done. You know what I mean? Fucking hit him, finish the fight, roll him over, get on guard.
Hey, but let's mention earlier. This isn't the first time we saw Aljamain resort to that position. Earlier in the fight, he did the same thing, and I told Mike and Daniel, I'm like, don't knee him. He's fucking baiting him. Because what this was, Mike, was, and Johnny was Peter Yan. Remember, he was using his judo trips, taking him down, and then for a second, I don't know if Aljamain, because he was gassed, I don't know if he was like stalling just to get his breath. Because you know how John Jones also used to do the one hand down? So that's a bullshit position. We can argue that. Because whose fault is it really? In this instance, it's Peter Yan because he should know the rules. Mm-hmm. But it's also like the rules' fault. It's like fighter can take advantage of the one hand down rule to stall a fight just to survive, I guess. But I mean,
but that's also the other. That's
at the same time. Why wasn't Peter Yan thinking I could punch him?
Yeah, find other opportunities to win. I don't like the idea that people are just like, oh, bro, let's just knee and kick down opponents.
No, I don't agree with that. But it's like at the end of the day, I want to say this: Mark Smith didn't do the greatest job that night because he let a fighter get his ass. In the Medic fight, the second fight of the night.
Uros Medic, yeah.
He let the guy get his ass kicked for
Alan Cruz took a beating.
Another extra minute. But anyway, what I'm saying is that Mark Smith should have been like, hey, you can't, or the referee in general should be like, you can't stall in this position. Get the fuck up. I know Jan fucked up, but he should know the rules too. So it's just a weird fucking scenario. Aljamain, I really think that he knew he was getting his ass kicked. I mean, Johnny, let's agree on this. It was round 4. I scored it 3-1, and after this round 4, it would probably been 4-1. Jan was winning this fight.
Let me ask you, what round did you give to Aljamain?
First round.
First round? I think people are talking about how stupid you have to be to give Aljamain the first round. It's like, dude, he outstruck him by a shitload.
Came out real fucking fast.
Yeah, I mean, and then he did get dropped with what looked like an off balance with a big power shot.
Yeah, I thought it was just a slip.
Yeah, but it was like, hey, if you want to count all the volume of Aljamain and the power of what's it called, Jan, then we're gonna call that striking equal, and then we're gonna look at octagon control because there was no grappling.
Dude, how many spinning back elbows was this guy planning on throwing?
0 that landed. That's for sure.
Dude, at one point it was like he threw it so fatigued. I'm like, dude, like that's
just stop doing that. Yeah. Just stop doing that. Do not.
He's like, here's another one.
What?
It's like he was so. It looked choreographed, and he was also like it was predictable. He's like, hey, Jan, guess what? Spinning elbow.
Yeah, and it was just movements like that led to the fucking stalling knee position. He went for, I think, 2-3 lazy takedowns.
You know how we have like robbery and baited. He baited him into that.
Yeah.
This was it was smart. Okay, for Aljamain to get the win, and okay, you know, like in some NFL games, it shows you like a metric, like a statistic, like opportunity to win. Like one team goes up, one team goes down. Like Aljamain's was down here, and then like at one point it was like here's his opportunity to fucking
win, and Peter Yan went solo.
Dude, that's how he saw an opportunity to win and he took it. I say he's smart for that. Now. Let's try to go ahead, bro. Now he's avoiding the rematch. Have you read the news?
Yeah, I've been reading.
He's avoiding this rematch and chasing a money fight with Cejudo, which kind of is like he's basically telling Jan, "Fuck you."
Hey, all I gotta say as the Henry Cejudo superfan is. At first, everybody was out here hating Cejudo, not wanting to fight Cejudo, and now look at y'all. Now look, everybody wants Cejudo as the money fight.
We should like put one of those the blur, the
pixel. Please do that. We need it.
But yeah, now everybody talking about Cejudo as the money fight. That's right, baby. Come and get you some of that Triple C. Anyways, there was a lot of controversy in that last fight. I don't even think we have to spend much time in this next fight. No
Islam
controversy. Yeah, no controversy here. Islam Makhachev goes out there, dominates for all 3 rounds.
He did the Khabib special.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about that right there. Hey, let's stop calling this guy the Khabib special because...
No, what I'm saying is the Khabib special move.
Yeah, I know, but everybody's talking about Khabib relations. Look, he dominated that fight grappling 100%.
So our viewers know what we're talking about?
Which one are you talking about?
The Khabib.
Oh, the legs. You're talking about the legs?
Right? Okay, let's say he's wrestling somebody against the fence, and he's in either half guard, maybe full guard, and whenever the Drew Dober tried to wall walk, do one of these maneuvers, he literally just says, nope, and he sucks your hips up from under you and says, now I'm in full guard.
And then then triangles your legs. Yeah. But what I was saying is... the only thing is, like, I felt like Islam could have damaged him a whole lot more there on the ground. You know what I mean? That he wasn't like...
He showed him mercy?
He just didn't. He was just weighing on him, winning the fight with grappling.
Look at these. Yeah, look at the strike differential. 102 landed strikes for Islam, 14 for Drew Dober.
I guess I just wanted
102 to 14. Like that just that should have been like okay. I mean, it ended with a sub, but this should have been like 10-8s across the board, dude.
Yeah, that was
9 minutes of control time.
I was glad he got the sub there at the end.
Good sub too. I didn't know you could do an arm triangle from half guard.
I don't think you can. That's why
Right?
he was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" The next fight, Alexander Rakic versus Thiago Santos.
God,
That was guaranteed fireworks, and we got a shit show. We didn't get any fireworks.
that was guaranteed boredom.
Yeah, every single firework there had a
This
bad
was a
fuse.
battle of guys with the coolest tattoos. That it wasn't interesting at all.
I mean, I can't. There's not really much to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, can we skip? I mean, Rakic got it done. Santos drops 3 straight since that Jones loss.
I'm really scared of Rakic. I feel like Rakic is a really big
The
competitor.
last
in that
guy to
division.
beat Polish Power, bro, Santos.
And he's gone.
And
He's not going to get a title shot anytime soon.
No, he's gonna be the next UL. Bellator's coming. He's coming for you, Bellator.
Dominic Cruz, bro. Dominic Cruz goes up and
Fights Hans Molkamp.
I hope that's next.
No,
this podcast is not brought to you by Monster or Hans Mollenkamp. Thank you.
Hey, but Dom, this is his first non-title fight
In 6 years, I believe.
since 2014.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
7 years.
He last fought last year against Henry Cejudo, the retirement fight for Cejudo. He got dropped, got finished. And then this is when he had that whole beef with Keith Peterson, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Casey Kenny, a new surgeon prospect. One judge scored it for Casey Kenny. So
Like gave him the whole fight, not just a round?
no, it's split decision.
Oh, wow.
It was a split decision, yeah. So one judge gave it to Casey. Dom looked, pretty vintage with the footwork.
He looked great. He looked
Yeah.
absolutely great. It made the Henry Cejudo win look even better.
Well, think about it. One judge gave it 30-27 for Dom, another 29-28, and then one judge scored for Casey Kenny. So the judging was weird in this fight. The right man won. I guess the other judge was obviously betting on Casey.
I guess so,
right?
yeah.
Like, fuck. But he just,
That was a great fight.
I was hoping to be more dominant just because I want to see Dom back in the title picture. I think it's kind of, he's past his prime.
We'll see
He's
where
still
he
a younger
goes.
guy, though.
Casey Kenny looked great coming up, so it's good to see that he can still compete at least with the young up and comers that are really good. So we'll see where he fits in.
Well, that's it, baby.
That's it. Shout out the boy Kyler Phillips, Joseph Benavidez. Please retire.
Kyler, yeah, you're still winning, bro. Megan will leave you. Jesus.
Yeah, Joseph Benavidez. Please retire.
You're always winning, Joseph, Jiu-Jitsu.
Leave us a like and subscribe and comment.
Like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, man. We love you for supporting the podcast. Me and Johnny are out. We'll drop another episode this week.
I like y'all. I don't love you.
This is like Brothers of the World.
It's extra long. Brothers of the World extra long. Baby.
This is gonna be a shirt one day.
That's gonna be a shirt.
Just this hand. Two hands. Okay. Anyway, later, guys. We'll catch you on the next BOTW podcast.
Yep.
Look, they for the block, they for the Kevin and Robin and Rock 'em and Tiggy and 40 be
What, I
quiet.
guess like
Niggas
28
recording.
minutes? I was
You wanna
trying to-
talk with the devil in them house and that bitch bleed it to death. Feed on my niggas, then leave it to death. I been so good with this shit, do you live it to die? All them niggas bereaved.